Breathe in physical well-being to supersize your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. What the heck, you're thinking? What the heck does breathing, physical health and well-being, and supersizing my business even have to do with each other? Well, I can speak from personal experience. If you stop breathing, you're not going to be able to supersize your business. Someone else will have to do it, or it just won't happen. Today we're talking about, of course, all this month we're focusing on our physical business. That has to do with us as well, right? Now our business can't actually breathe. So this one is for you today as the founder and owner of your business. How does breathing positively impact you and your organization? Well, I learned a long time ago as a kid, my family had a saying for me. I think I was about 8 when my dad started it. And I don't know how he got the brilliant idea. Must have been driving home from work and thought, oh, I got something that'll rein her in. And they started, whenever I would get upset about something or get a little bit volatile, because I was kind of an emotive kid, somebody in the family would offer up, pop the cork, Sherry. They called me Sherry when I was growing up. And it irritated me on the inside, but it actually did create a massive state change and an immediate state change in me, where I would be not paying attention to what I was focusing on, and I would pay attention to that, and that would immediately break whatever little rant or rave or roll I was on. So things like that can have a huge impact on us. And guess what? We affect everyone around us all the time. This is especially true in our businesses and our organizations, right? So breathwork is one of those tools I learned primarily after my sudden cardiac arrest. Now, we've all been breathing all of our lives, and we will continue to do so until the day we expire here on planet Earth. But for right now, I've learned that one of the quickest, easiest tools for changing what's going on inside of us, and that means what we're projecting and sharing with the people around us and the energy around us, because we all share that, is to practice different breathing exercises. What I like best about it is you can do it and nobody else will even know you're doing it, right? Unless you show them that you're doing it. But otherwise, you can do it in your office. You can do it in your bathroom. You can do it in anywhere. You can do it in the middle of a staff meeting when somebody says something absolutely ridiculous and you don't want to say something snide or nasty. You can just use a breathing technique. So I'll share a couple with you. There are literally thousands of them. And I practiced dozens of them over the course of my life, primarily after my sudden cardiac arrest and on. Is like, okay, I got to do some things. I got to find some ways to actually manage my feelings and myself and my reactions, etc. And that's when I started to discover different personal development things and modalities and things to make me a better human being, a better leader, a better owner, etc. So I'm just going to share a couple of them with you. You'll start to see a pattern. They all kind of act the same way, but the majority of them, not all, but because everybody's got their own little different twist on how they teach different breathing techniques. But some of the ones I like all are breathe in through your nose, hold it for an amount of count or time or seconds, and then exhale through your mouth. Now, if you're in a meeting, you can just do it subtly, right? You're not going to go and do a big blowout so people know that you're breathing and trying to calm yourself down. You're going to be appropriate for the situation, is how I always say. Let's just be appropriate for the situation. But I will tell you, there's been many a staff meeting in corporate America and many a meeting in my different businesses, and even in some of my coaching sessions, where I just have to take a breath and say, oh my gosh, on a roll. Okay, so what are some of these? One is I've noticed that all of mine are for calming down, refocusing, getting a little more energy. They all have a theme, right? Maybe you don't need those. Maybe you just need or want better energy, and so you'll breathe for that. Whatever you need, that's what you'll pick and choose and find for you. So I challenge you today to pick one breathing technique and just do it sometime or a couple of times today and see how it makes you feel. See if it doesn't help you feel more focused, more balanced, more calm, more rational, more able to deal with the chaotic world that's around all of us as business owners all the time. I don't know about you, I'm simplifying massively this year, but for a lot of years it's just been, and sometimes I wish I would have been better at, especially in corporate America. Most of my corporate career, I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't have my sudden cardiac arrest until 2015, and that's when I was like, okay, we're going on I'd always been into personal development, growth, and lifelong learning, but I hadn't been into the more well, why are we here? What's our purpose? What's our legacy? All those types of things. So what are these breathing techniques? I digress. Number one, the 5-2-11. I just learned this one from my favorite hypnotist, Victoria Gallagher. And it's breathe in through your nose for a count of 5, hold it for a count of 2, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 11. I don't know why it's 5, 2, and 11. I don't know the answer to that. I didn't investigate it. I just know that it worked for me and it helped me to relax. 4-4-4 is called box breathing. Some people do it with different counts, but 4-4-4 seems to be the most popular one. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. And then there's a 7-7-7 one, which I use for reframing. I've assigned different tasks to different types of breathing because it works for me. It's just an idea you might want to adopt. 7-7-7 I use to reframe. Inhale for 7, hold for 7, exhale for 7. Because it brings me back to center and to focus and reminds me of, okay, these are my core values in this area. This is what's going on. And then once I pull myself back to that, I will make better decisions because I'm staying in alignment with what's right for me and my business, etc. And then finally, this one's when I really need to cool off, calm down, and reframe the situation and get a different point of view or perspective on it. I will actually count to 10 and breathe in, count to 10, hold it for 10, and breathe out for 10. That's when I really need to rein myself in, right? Because the only person we can control is actually ourselves. And when we behave in a way that is appropriate for our organization, it sets the example for everybody else. So I learned that it's hard sometimes, and sometimes we want to just blow off steam or fly off the handle. I like idioms, but it doesn't really ever serve the organization in terms of what we're trying to create and develop. We want to have an environment where people feel comfortable and safe to be themselves, but that doesn't mean that we get to behave in ways that are harmful or hurt other people. And that involves our energy and our response to things as well. So, love to know if you have a favorite breathing technique or favorite breath work, or if you've ever done breath work. Share in the comments below so we can learn from one another. Any questions about this? I'm definitely not an expert. There are lots of breathing experts out there. I'm just sharing what has worked for me, and I encourage you to find the thing that, at least one thing that will work for you. Just try it on for size this week and see if it doesn't make a difference in your interactions with people in your business. I think that it will. All right. Have a great day. Any questions, ask. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.